Welcome to Le Mans in the GT3. Start off the race, I'd like to talk about a problem I've been noticing more and more often. I've been doing GT and GT3 racing, and that is the push tactic. And I mean, where you go behind another car and just give them that little push and they go flying off track. Usually happens when you're mid-corner. Coming up in a moment is a perfect example of said situation. Especially with this green Porsche to our right is a little bit twitchy. You'll see the radar doesn't show that they're close or even hit us, but there we go. Happens far too often, and it is really prevalent in GT2 and GT3 racing, and it's really destructive or detrimental, both actually, to be fair. So we get a demotion and we're starting almost last. I think 21 is our limit there. Thankfully we're not behind that person. But we're going to be chasing down this Bentley, which is actually really quick. Coming in for the first bus stop, braking down to third gear, turning in, and all manner of chaos has ensued. That is another example of why I don't understand what's happened, because the car was ghosted. Thankfully, we didn't get penalised for it. The car in front didn't get penalised for it. The only person that suffered was the actual ghosted car. But it is what it is. Coming down the straight, heading towards a bus stop number 2. Braking down to the gear. Almost get rear-ended by the Aston behind, but thankfully we moved out the way. We're almost turned into a parking lot, and out the other side we go. No dramas to talk about there. Except for that person, they have decided not to carry on with the race. Braking down into this corner here, we are now in a car park. It's quite funny really how we all just end up bunching up and traffic jam forms really. But Bentley versus Aston Martin. One Bentley backs out, I guess, or just carries on gardening. I cannot believe how quick that Bentley up in front really is. I mean, don't get me wrong, got a smidge of downforce on the rear of this, but yeah, that thing is flying on another level. Okay, braking into the corner. I usually end up going through sideways in. Down in second gear, we survived it and managed to overtake a car as well. That is absolute incredible work. I generally thought the Acura was going to fight back and T-bone Big Crunch in the Bentley, but it didn't happen. Sadly, the Bentley is giving the tow to the Acura to my right hand side, and we are not going to survive this next corner, I do not think. Nah, they're getting overly friendly. Yes, extremely friendly. Well, there you go. Problem solved. And I get overtaken by the Aston Martin I have just overtaken. Lost 2 places due to a collision with one car. How does the math work out there? I do not know. I mean, we're doing alright overall. We're back up to, well, P12 now. But considering we started off relatively okay, and what, I think it was P10. Get down to P20, come back up to P12. It's not too bad overall. You've got to make sure we make it through this section here without getting a penalty, because it really is ruthless when you get a penalty here, and it's really painful. Ooh, that was close to Haribo in front. Hopefully we can get past Haribo. If not, I'm sure they'll drag us down the back straight. That car is that quick. We need the assistance of being pulled along. The slipstream will really benefit us. Well, the slipstream is no longer an option. Coming through the section here, absolutely beautiful work, and out the other side. I would like to point out I have a new steering wheel. I had an upgrade from a G920, which was quite a few years old and made a lot of noises, to a G923, and it has a very different feel to it. Although true force is something to get used to, I've had to turn it down quite somewhat. It isn't loud, the steering wheel itself is very quiet, but I don't get the boat effect I used to get. Used to see me, the wheels swinging left to right like the car was made out of a boat. I don't seem to have that on this wheel, so it's more precise, I guess is the way to put it, and it's definitely a lot better. And the brake pedal is definitely a lot better as well. I feel far more confident with that brake pedal than I did with the previous one. So I'm still getting used to it, especially the vibration of True Force. A great upgrade nonetheless. I know it's not a big step up to a direct drive wheel. I still think it's really worth it. I'll tell you what's really worth it. We're going to have this great battle with Mr. Penn to our right hand side. Hopefully we have no contact. Beautiful work side by side. Kind of giving them that section there. I didn't want any form of collision. Mr. Penn seemed very fair, but we're going to try and overtake again. I almost went off track there. Well, I did go off track, but hopefully I don't get a penalty for that one. Thank you very much, system. Much appreciated. Another drag race with Mr. Turner. Hey, Mr. Turner to the left. How much room do you need, Turner? Move over. There's 2 lanes, man. 2 lanes. There we go. Now you've mastered it. Stay in your lane. Flash, stay in your lane too. You can't criticize that person when you can't stay in your own lane either. Ah, well. We're still faster in the drag race than they are, and that is what matters most. What really matters too is braking for the section correctly. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks awesome going in, and thankfully, very rare, if ever, I've got a penalty from sending it into that corner like I just did. But I'm not saying it will never happen. Might happen one day. But Mr. Penn has managed to keep that position in front of us. Hopefully through the Porsche curves, we'll do better than that guy. Don't know where they were going. But Mr. Penn is leading the charge. Hopefully we'll be able to make a move on said Mr. Penn. And then, beautiful work, Flash. Through there, quick reactions. And out the other side we go. Not too much of this race left to go. We are almost halfway there. Probably actually the better half of the halfway there. We are going to have to pit at the end of the next lap. I am running medium tyres and I plan to go onto a soft set after that. So we're going to get through lap 3, have a good old pit stop, nice cup of coffee, and come out the other side and see what position we are in, which is 14th. Oh, we lost a lot of places. Bear in mind though, there are going to be some people that are on hard tyres that may pit and go to soft tyres, while there are also people that's going to be on hard tyres no stop. It is doable, but the last lap is kind of dicey. Ourselves being on the soft tyre compound will hopefully be able to benefit from that. I mean, we're really catching up to position 12 here, who has not pitted, and that is the pink Aston Martin again. Absolute beautiful work. And we caught up about 10 seconds in one lap, and it does sound like a lot of how much we've managed to catch up. 10 seconds in one lap, but you must remember it is a big one lap, and hopefully we can get past the left. Nope, they swung over there. Okay, could have kept to the right side, it would have been a lot easier, but their tyres may have been goosed, or they may have not been aware that I was behind them. You don't know. I don't know. Everybody doesn't know. But what I do know is we are 1.4 seconds away from position 10, which is not too far ahead, rocking a 1.2 second penalty. Come on, through the corner we go, Flash, out the other side. Mustang versus Mustang. Who has the faster tang? Hopefully me, actually, to be fair. 0.8 seconds away. Position 1 has chosen not to pit either, 46 seconds ahead. Astronomical lead. Kind of wonder though, if I didn't have that incident earlier on at the beginning of the race, where would we have actually finished this race on overall? Would we have had an incident somewhere else? Who knows? I mean, this is kind of scary. There's a tyre wall there, Flash. Don't want to hit that. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Proudest moment right there, that I managed to keep it in one piece and facing the right direction. Annoyingly though, I'd like to point out the car up in front is now 1.2 seconds away. We need to catch up into that 1.2 seconds to make sure that we have a chance for actually claiming position 10. And that's happening right now really, because 0.5 seconds away, catching really up to them, and their tyres must be absolutely horrendous to be on. They've not pitted either. They're going to be on hard tyres, and you can see how dicey the back end of the car is. Look at the fun they are having. I was hoping to make a move there, but the way that car is dancing around is not something I want to try and overtake, if you understand what I mean. I want to make sure I actually get to the end of this race in one piece. You know, if we have an incident and they're still on the track, we don't actually claim P10. So it's easy to stay behind, watch it all unfold, claim position 10 like we have now, and move on to the next race, which is at Mugello. But before we get there, I'd like to take a moment out to thank our channel members, which are Andy Good, Sigmatic, Daniel Adams, Crazy A, AK47, and Spectral Rain. Thank you guys ever so much for supporting the channel. Now let's get on with Magello. Starting the race off in position 7. Not a bad place really to start off. We're kind of more up in front than we are behind. Running soft tyres, running medium tyres again, sorry, and we're going to go halfway through the race and go for another set of mediums. Certainly can't do a hard no stop. That Porsche is having a right old drifting session, and we're going to try and make a little move up the inside here of the BMW, kind of a little bit too elbowy, and the elbows are coming back. I think it was assisted by the other car as well, so it is what it is. We haven't really lost. We're still one position up overall, which is a great place to be. 2 positions up overall. And they said sorry. Wow. Don't see that all too often anymore. Okie dokie. Coming out the other side through the S's here, which is kind of funky. Got to be really careful because the camber of the road really works against you there. We are losing pace from the cars up in front. Kind of not the right choice of car for this kind of race. It's great for top speed. Handling is good. I wouldn't say it's one of the best ones out there. Again, that could be down to the way my tuning is set up on this vehicle. I have it heavily tuned for Le Mans and it suits it really well there. Other tracks, not so much, but at least we are keeping up with the Wolfpack up in front and a really nice gap away from the cars behind. Oh, 2 more gone gardening. Well, we're on the podium now. Cannot grumble at that. And he says sorry again. It's alright. Just smashing people off the track. Sorry. It makes it all better. I'm joking. Anyway, we need to try and catch up to the purple AMG up in front. Blackidius. Just make things easy for me. Call him Steve. And we're going to try and overtake Steve up in front. Hopefully, because we are a little bit quicker than them, especially through the cornering sections or the faster corners. I think that's where the AMG is getting a little bit let down. It is a big old boat with a big old engine up front, so handling isn't all that precise, is probably the word I'm looking for. And we also need to get past them because we've got the BMW M4 catching up really quickly in the rearview mirror. And they've probably got a little bit of a vendetta to position 1, who is quite far up in front. Oh no. No. Thank you very much. No penalty was awarded for that obvious track cut. Okay. We really need to get a move on with this Blackie Dust Steve up in front and be able to make that position, because the M4 is going to be in my toe. I'm going to be in the toe of the car up in front. We're going to be 3 wide coming down this really long fast straight. Yeah, this is not going to go well. This really is not going to go well. Right, brake. Oh, locked up. Oh no, well, how did I know it wasn't going to go well? I am sorry. I am so sorry. M4. Yeah. That definitely was not intentional. Definitely locked up there. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say outbrake, because I braked at the normal braking place. I just went a bit heavy on said brakes. Let's try again. We're in position 4 and still behind Steve up in front. The M4 is now pretty much in their own race. Position 1 is long gone, 6.4 seconds ahead of time, and we're almost halfway through this race, so it won't be too long till we need to do a little old pit stop, get a fresh set of boots for the car. Now, we've been losing a little bit of pace to Steve up in front, but they had a little bit of a shining moment there. Probably came in a little bit hot, a little bit of contact, and out the other side we are up in front, which is great news. Now, I do think that Steve behind us right now does suffer from a little bit of pressure, because as you catch up to them, they start slowing down a little bit. So, yeah, they might well be better as a chaser than they are as a leader. which is not good for us because that means it's going to be breathing all down our neck. And as myself, we feel the pressure. Not so good as a leader, but also better as a chaser. So I have a plan. And that plan is to break the toe as much as I can. And oddly enough, they have not moved over to join in said toe. But they have caught up to us into turn 1, as overall the car was a little bit quicker than mine. I had no toe to play with, I was running all by myself, sadly. I had no friends to pull me along. I mean, the M4 is so far ahead there in their own race, and so is position 1. It was just me and Steve having a good old battle together. So I need to make this car as wide as possible and defend as much as I can. That is very close to the track limits there. That could have gone wrong on way too many levels. Okay, coming through here. Easy to make a mistake through this section here, carrying a little bit too much speed. You go gravel castle building. Same for this corner here. I'll tell you what, the great thing about this corner here is if you have a car right up behind you and you really push it to that limit, because of the aero wash, 9 times out of 10 they end up going gravel castle building. It works out a treat. So that is a great safe keep to keep in your head. Right. Almost halfway through this race, we must think about pitting. Is it best to pit this lap or the next lap? That is the question. I'm going to see where this car behind us is as we rise over the pit exit. Or pigs? Pit entrance. Where on earth did I get pigs from? Anyway, pit entrance. And we're going to see what really happens because they're right up us now. And I don't want them following me in. I want to be able to be by myself and fake them out. There we go. It is our line. We're going to go into the pits early, get a fresh set of tyres, and out the other side into position 10. Not bad, actually. Not bad. We are going to suffer towards the end of the race a little bit, but there is method to the madness. Now, if I can nail this lap, we may come out in front of Steve by an actual good margin. And that is the method to the madness I am portraying at the moment, or thinking about anyway. Whether it works or not, we're going to soon find out. Why is there a red billboard to the right of the track? It's really distracting. Well, that saves the overtake. Really need to start pushing a little bit harder and see if we can better our last lap time, or best lap time anyway. Again, like I say though, everybody is going to be on hard tyres, is going to have to pit anyway. Oh, crying out loud. Oops, steady, steady. Okay. Actual disappointment in my face right there. Sometimes the car doesn't want to behave and do exactly what it's told. What it is the curbs at Magello seem to be a bit lumpy. And when you go over the curb and back, it grabs the car, and if you don't get it right, it causes that situation. And it has caused a situation that Steve up in front is up in front. Yeah, not helpful. I do wonder, 1.6 seconds ahead, how much time did I lose from that mess up? Would they have still been in front anyway? I might have been right up behind them. I don't know. I really wasn't fast at my exit lap, and that's what was not good. I don't know, the car just didn't seem to be sticky. It felt very greasy. That's the best way of putting it. That's the best way I could describe it anyway. It just didn't want to hold the road as what it was previously. Don't get me wrong, I do think there's an element of like tyre shine or something, that when you come out on a fresh set of tyres, it's just not that good. Although the temperature is there, they're just not good. And it takes a little bit of scrubbing to get the crap off the tyres. I don't know. It might be my imagination, and you can say, Flash, shut up, you're an idiot. More than welcome to down in the comments below. But I don't know, it just always seems the exit lap always is an awful lap, no matter what. Right, okay. Right up behind him. Come on, power, power. There we go. We just need to make sure we don't fall off the track again. There we go, a little bit. And you feel it grabbing the wheel. When you come back over the curb, it's like going into a curb. It just pulls the back of the car, and it's really not helpful. And it does dent your confidence in what the car can do as it's going over those curbs. I don't know. It could be the way I've got the car set up. Tune-wise, the suspension is pretty stiff. So it doesn't like bouncing around all that much. Hopefully, though, we're going to get a slingshot move here. Look at the speed this Mustang is carrying. It might be a lot of speed, but you've also got to slow it down. There we go. Just like poke my head right in front of them, and out the other side we go. I have just noticed though, there is a car right behind us, so we couldn't have planned an overtake like that at a better time, really, because if I can get away from Steve behind us that is trying to defend from the car behind them, we're in a situation that benefits us. But that was not the case. They are rocking a 4-second penalty, and look how fast that Acura is. My gosh, when did that car get a BOP like increase, man? That thing is quick. Or the driver's quick. You never know. It could be the car. Thing is, we're in a slipstream that said really fast Acura with a 4-second penalty. We are on lap 9, so there's only 2 laps left to go. Steve behind is almost 2 seconds away thanks to the slipstream from that car up in front. If we are able to keep up with said car, we are still on the podium. And it's amazing me, really, because that car has come out of nowhere. I do not recognise seeing that car or that name. So where they've come from, I do not know, but they've certainly made their mark. Sadly, though, they have managed to get away, and we have another person breathing down our necks. Not great, really not great. Thankfully, they are also rocking a 1.9-second penalty, and we only have this lap and 1 remaining lap after that to go. So if I can not make it look all that obvious, but make this car as wide as an aeroplane, we can keep them behind us as long as we can, and then when they do overtake, we can ride their slipstream and hopefully stay up with them for 1 last lap. Now, it won't be a podium finish, but P4 is still a really good place to be. Podium would have been nice though, but these guys come out of nowhere and just absolutely flying past me. I'm not going to overly defend here, it's kind of obvious, but through this last section there's only really, 3 corners and I'm on the straight, and this part here is pretty much flat out anyway, so they can pretty much pull us down the fast straight and hopefully keep us away from Steve behind, who is almost 3 seconds away. I mean, 0.7 seconds, come on, get on that power, out the other side, 0.6, yes, we are in the tow, and actually quite a sweet spot of the tow as well, 0.5 seconds ahead. 0.4 is the fastest part of the towing from what I understand, so anything after 0.4 is faded and everything up to 0.4 isn't all that strong. 0.4 is the sweet spot and you'll just get reeled in insanely quick at that point. Thankfully though, we have managed to keep up behind them. We have 1 second buffer right now. It sounds like a lot, but it really isn't a lot. It's 1 mistake, 1 bad corner away from them being gone and us not having a P4 position. Yeah, ooh, see, 1 mistake. 1 mistake has cost us 0.2 seconds right there, 0.3. Really, really frustrating. And it's really hard to try and keep this car well behaved. Tyres are almost on minor wear. And again, it's our final lap. See that car 1.2 seconds away. Come on, make a mistake, car. Well, do us a favour. It'll be really convenient of you. Not at the moment. Front left-hand tyre is almost onto minor wear. The rear's on really not too far behind. Thing is, overall, this race has been insanely good. I mean, it's one of the best races I've had in the GT3 category in a little while. Like I say in the first race, there is that issue with people bumping you off the track and out of the way. And it really is prevalent in these cars because of the rear-wheel drive and how slippy they are. And it's really frustrating. This is probably 1 in 7 races I've done that I haven't had the rear end issue. And everyone has been 90% fair and a great race overall, and it is really nice to see that. And do you know what also is really nice? We're 0.6 seconds away, almost 0.7, but we've still got position 4 in the bag. Overall, a smashing race. Thank you all for watching.